Well, evening literature, folks. How are we doing today? We were John C. It's Sunday, November 8th, 2020, 8:38 Pacific Standard Time. So, how you guys doing? We freaked out enough for these days? Have we gone crazy enough over life itself and life in general and everything else going on? In doing a letter over to a professor, I was trying to think about doing a video log to her, but I probably got to put this as private eventually. Because I don't think it's going to be useful just yet. Probably for the private stuff. Only because material being covered, I'm not quite sure if anybody else is ready for that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to put it as a private or unlisted. Maybe I may not send the damn thing over to her. I don't know. But going over information regarding certain things I was learning about. And revelations. You know, when you're born in the realm of literature, literally, you come into their life by the life of a pen on paper. You are quite literally caught up in words and characters and caricatures, scenery and stuff. Of course, you're probably thinking about it. I'm talking about the theater. No, I'm not. No, I'm talking about words. I'm talking about literature. I'm talking about being created out of the mind of a major writer that brings forth life to paper and pen and comes forth creations, which I think writers are many creators by themselves, or probably just scribes. You know, it's crazy for people to talk like this. It's crazy for even people to even think like this, because I don't think anybody else in their lifetime or situations actually do think like that, because I don't think you even know how to think like that. So basically, I'm either one of a million, or I'm probably one of those fools and idiots out there who can't even communicate effectively enough to people these days. Simply put, I probably scared the living crap out of them. They don't even know what the hell to make of me. Neither do I, for that matter. And that's what terrifies people the most, because when they can't make heads or tails of who and what you are, what the hell are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing at this point over here. I thought I was trying to communicate to people, trying to talk to them in one form or fashion. It goes in right over the ear. Just out the ear, out of the other ear, and out of the ass, and God knows where else it goes. Who knows? We're covering materials that I may be confused a lot of different contexts. We're trying to put things in different contexts, and people are like, are you out of your Vulcan mind? I'm probably thinking, yeah, I am, because things I keep saying, things I keep reading or watching, it's things that happen in life. Itches, irritations of the skin. Bring forth a reality that we have to keep living with. However, a reality on pen and paper is a different story altogether. And especially when we get reactions or allergic reactions one way or another to those kind of materials. That's how subject matters can change every so often. One has to go through the flow, but the thing is, when you're writing, there has to be a consistent flow of material. There has to be a consistent flow of thought, of feeling, of action, of setting, of dialogue. Otherwise, everything else is so damn disconjointed. Oh, wow, what a bright flash that is. Did you happen to feel the earthquake just shaking just now? No, because I thought I heard a gunshot outside. Disconjointed, aren't they? Trying to explain something in a context to a reader, a viewer, a listener, is one of the hardest damn things for a writer to do, because he has to find the continuity, but also have enough context to give to the reader. Enough not to put him into a catatonic state, and not to make him flash by things so damn fast, but enough to drag him into your realm and put him through his paces, or her paces for this matter. That includes writing essays for professors, or trying to do analysis of works. Case in point, when I'm trying to do something I haven't even studied on, and been listening to the professor talking about the story, and it was going in one ear out the other ear. Nathaniel Hawthorne's My Kinsman Major Molyneux. And I had to take cliff notes off the YouTube by hearing the professors talk about it, and I'm thinking, you know, we're talking about something that's going to put someone to sleep. We're talking about a narrator when there's no narrator. It's just someone telling the story about this one. And I'm supposed to care about the characters at this point over here. No wonder writers have an issue regarding readers' attentions, because sometimes there are readers, listeners, audience out there, basically, to review the material and think, what the hell is this shit? That's what I keep running across. That's what I always come across, is what the hell is this damn crap in the first place? Do I know? Do I honestly know? No, I don't know, because I never come across that damn shit in the first place. Nathaniel Hawthorne was putting me to sleep. It's almost as much as watching Poe half the time, unless you start listening to his works interpreted by other people. Then you hear it, whoa. I've read a lot of works growing up, but then I had switched over to different media to understand it. Watching media is one thing, because everyone else has had their own dramatic flair. So when I start listening to it, and I listen to how the reader is interpreting Poe's work compared to reading the damn thing, I found my own taste and my own viewpoints have changed drastically. Poe is a certified madman when it comes down for literature. And for a guy who's trying to be an extrovert, he was basically introverted and dealing with his darker nature at his side. And I kept looking for not the internal forces that drove him crazy, because he probably was being driven crazy by mechanisms left and right. I'm looking at the external forces of the time period. Now, in history classes, they talked about the first industrial revolution. Cotton gin, the printing press, clocks, watches, pocket watches, tick-tock, 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 mechanisms. A mechanical device. We're bound to time because of the mechanism of a spring and a sprocket, and wheels and lockets. So the other video I made out there was talking about things like that, and trying to explain that to a professor. It's like, I'm not quite sure if she's on that level or on a different level. There is another professor that could have been that way, but unfortunately when you have a personality dispute or a disagreement with the professor and his own viewpoint, it doesn't exactly help me very much, I'll tell you that much. Especially when I think the guy is somewhat sharp, but then duller than a knife. He needs to be put into a knife sharpener and sharpen up his own viewpoints. So he needs to broaden his own perspectives at this point. I can't be the only one trying to figure shit out left and right. There has to be other readers out there, other audience members who are trying to, they look at the things and they're trying to understand it in a general context that gives them enjoyment, but not when it comes down for literature being translated into theatrical, because at this point we are dealing with critics who looked at the material and wondering if the interpretation was correct or not. But it's all depending upon personality. If it's a general audience at this point over here, they're going to be looking at it for the entertainment purposes over here. But if we're talking about somebody with a serious literature mind, a serious educated brain, then we know that they're dealing with different levels than the general public. And that's one of the things that the professors keep trying to reiterate to the students, is we have to look at things differently than what we have been. Even philosophy professors are trying to enlighten the students to expand beyond their own boxes, their own boundaries, beyond the own mechanisms of their own minds. They're trying to explain this to professors, would it be pleasing them, or are they still stuck in a situation where we have to exist in boxes but pretend that we have the illusion of creativity? That's my issue these days. And trying to deal with the professor I've got right now in college is a different story altogether. So I'm going to struggle as best as I can with this one. I like the professor, I like the material and the students. Liking is one thing, but coping and understanding the material necessary and then trying to tear your ass apart because other students don't do it because they don't have the luxury for it. They want to get things done, bing, bang, bong. Not me. I wander. I have my mind wandering all the damn time. And sometimes I wonder if I'm going to be living here in the real world or just exist in another plane of existence at that point. Or I no longer matter here, but matter somewhere else. And I had short stories about that written decades ago. I remember reading about those things already. Movie I came across concerning about a gentleman named of Klein. Wrote the book Ready Player One back in 2011. Spielberg picked up on the thing, found it a pretty good read. Be a pretty good damn movie. Next thing you know, the writer and the director, creator, producer, they're all collaborating and getting this work out. Next thing you know, his work is out back in 2018, and it looks like it's a pretty damn decent ride. But with a hell of a lot of studying, besides the pop culture, he understands more than the pop culture. He understands about sliding of realities at this point over here, which is the better realm. But it goes into a different context than what he's understanding at this point, I think. My mind tries to apply a different theories and scenarios to understand where we're coming from, why we're here in the first place, why are we doing things the way we're doing it. Sometimes it's hard as hell to pin it down. It creates a story, a cyberpunk realm where people prefer the virtual reality instead of regular reality because reality sucks. The problem is reality sucks, period, as long as you know how to make it suck or try to work to the best of your ability to make it not suck. Life is life. You have to deal with it on its own damn basis because in the virtual reality, that's a different story altogether. That's somebody else's programming, and that's someone else's box that you're living in. And the real world is it's no box. It's as is. And for long periods of time, we've been dealing with that until we got into the realm of cyberpunk technology. I think we did the cyberpunk when we started inventing things. We started getting mechanisms working. When we get into the when we get into a revolution or the evolution, the industrial evolution, not revolution, evolution. Revolution is you're splitting apart from something. Evolution is you're growing into, you're changing into. So I should just call it the industrial evolution, not the industrial revolution. Revolution is to me, it's like splitting apart from something, trying to make it new. It's mitosis. Mitosis of cells. Cells splitting apart, trying to make themselves new life forms. Neighbors. Anyway, enough of my musings for tonight. I will post these things probably a little bit later in the morning hours just to get my thoughts clarified. So for right now, it's time to delve back into the realm of the cyber realms. Well then, guys.